This is Off the Break Podcast, presented by Silver Screen Insider.
Welcome back to Off the Break Podcast, Quarantine Edition. We are here, surviving. Ken is with me. Kyle's with me. His gloves are making an appearance as well.
They sure are.
They sure are. The gloves are back, baby.
Gloves that are never coming off until quarantine ends.
So, how is everybody doing this week? Are we getting through it okay?
Yeah, I think every week, like, for some reason, it kind of gets a bit better each time. I
Little
don't know why.
easier?
It's just how I'm coming across.
When will it end? I just want it to go
done.
back to normal.
It'll never be normal. Nothing will ever be the same.
I really enjoy sleeping in the morning, so I don't
True.
ever want it to go back.
I'm just sick of actually putting hand sanitizer on my hands and not eating it quietly while we're in the office.
Yeah.
Oh, that's disappointing.
Just not licking that hand.
Yeah, it's a nice little buzz to keep your day going.
Yeah.
I feel like this was an inside joke before I came in.
It's a hand sanitizer top tip
Between husband and wife.
between me and myself. Actually, I shouldn't have shared that out loud.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah. No, I just get my best sleep between 6 and 8 a.m. I do not want to get up any earlier than that.
That weirdly is the same for me, though. Like, I haven't been sleeping well, I think because of, like, this quarantine. So, like, I always fall asleep way too late. And then, like, between those 2 hours is where, like, I'm really able to sleep
Your sweet
well.
spot.
Yeah.
Get up and get to work, you millennial heathens.
Was a
6 to-
millennial before
6
the
to 8
millennials
a.m.
came
is-
around.
6 to 8 a.m. is 2 hours after you clock in.
You're already late.
Yeah. That's fine. 9 a.m. is the start of my work day. Yeah. There are some perks to quarantine life right now, and that is definitely one of them.
Yeah.
I get up at 8, have my coffee, get ready, get
There's no
going by
rush.
9. No, it's nice.
You don't even have to start the day, really.
Well, we do because we have kids. They make us start the day. I'm hungry. Feed me.
They're the ones
My
saying
hands are
6 to
cold.
8 is too late to be just
Yeah.
getting up.
Yeah. I'm like, your
5 a.m. or
children, shouldn't you
nothing.
be sleeping in as well? No, not my kids. They never want to sleep.
Ugh, sounds awful.
Little cold hands. I'm cold. Let me
Yeah.
in. Anyways.
So quarantine, just about as normal as it has been, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we might be seeing some light at the end of the tunnel. There has been some movement on the restrictions. Governors are starting to kind of ease this phased plan of reopening their state economies. Georgia's leading the pack. I might have stepped out there a little too soon, but that's okay.
There go them Duke boys again.
We're open for business. So Georgia's made a big leap saying theaters can reopen. And what is it, next week?
April 27th is the start for businesses to reopen.
Businesses.
Yep,
and-
theaters is next Friday the 1st.
Yeah,
Las Vegas wants to open last week.
right. And be the test for everybody else to open.
Way to go. I applaud them. We should
Right.
build a wall right around Las Vegas and see what happens.
That's truly a control group right there.
Las Vegas Live.
Yeah.
We could just watch it happen in real time.
It's literally their own show.
Oh my God.
It's what they've always wanted.
What happens in Vegas gets streamed for the rest of the world.
And literally is required by law to stay in Vegas.
Vegas, yep. So you may be listening in a state that is talking about easing restrictions. I know that our state is doing a phased lift of their restrictions, although movie theaters are not included in phase 1. But, like solo businesses such as tattoo parlors apparently are in phase 1.
Bars and clubs can be open, but not bowling alleys.
Right.
And finally get that neck tattoo I've always wanted.
Yeah.
People who have been clamoring to get their tattoos are finally going to get what they want.
I like how when they list the different types of businesses, they're like music halls and dance halls and movie theaters, but it was just like the idea of some hall.
Yeah, we're like halls.
Yeah,
Those aren't
what
a
is
thing
that?
anymore.
We do a jitterbug downtown.
It's just an old movie theater. It's not a hall.
Yeah, specifically dance halls.
Yeah.
How many? I bet there's like 12 in the United States.
If
It
that.
seems a very specific way to notate things.
Right?
Maybe in the big cities, and even still, they aren't sure what
Yeah.
that building is.
Ye old dance
Are
hall.
we going to go down to the supper hall and then hit the dance hall?
I mean, I guess for these phasing things, they really had to make sure they covered the
Right.
ground. But yeah, I don't know. Some of these listings from different states, some of them are weird. That's
Right.
for sure.
So I think as we have talked with our clients this week and other theater owners about reopening, there's some excitement like, oh, I might get a chance. My governor's going to lift the restrictions. But especially like in the case of Georgia, the governor may have lifted restrictions, but there's a lot of things you need to take into consideration as the owner. You really need to weigh the cost of operation on a day-to-day basis with the type of product you have. And unfortunately, right now, there just isn't any product, and there is no new releases, and there won't be any new releases on the release schedule till July. So here we are, end of April, beginning of May. We're not looking at any new releases for 8 weeks, roughly. Maybe that.
Redo your math. 12 weeks.
12 weeks?
3 months.
3 months? Oh my gosh.
May, June, July.
It's just
April's
all
nearly over.
flowing.
Yeah.
What's a day anymore? Anyway, so we have several weeks, and so what are you going to fill in your screens in that time? And several of the film companies have put together some repertory combo drives. So like flashback to the 80s, here's your action, here's your Oscar acclaimed film series. And those are great. And those get people back a little bit, get some attention. But I don't see you being able to fill your screens for 12 weeks with repertory titles. That's just, that's just not going to really cut it, I think, for consumers. So you're going to really need to think about, as the owner manager, the operation costs, any and all current restrictions you have, because it may be open for business, but you still may have the 10-person limit. You may still have the 6 feet social distancing. So you have to then, block off seating and things like that. Stagger the show times, increase cleaning schedules. All that is going to cost you time and money. And so you want to make sure that with your flashback 80s repertory titles that you're making that revenue back and makes sense to do it. So I don't see a lot of movie theaters, even if they're able to open, rushing out to do that right away, because there's still going to be restrictions in place.
Yeah, I mean, even with restrictions between the state giving their orders and the health codes and whatnot.
The local community.
Yeah, exactly. You could probably be able to have enough business to make it doable for 3 to 4 weeks, but I mean 12 weeks out, it just doesn't really make that much sense to do. And we still really haven't seen any flattening happen quite yet. It's starting to happen, I think, but it's still not enough to where it's very possible to still have a spike with so many things about to reopen. It's really a tough situation legally and
also
financially.
you've had a lot of people that have been out of work, and they may just not have the resources to spend on going to the movies, and they may not want to spend those limited resources on repertory titles. So you may need a film like Mulan or Tenet to get them to do the event and see the value in spending that extra money right now. So that being said, I think the major theater chains aren't planning on opening till end of June, beginning of July, and probably very soft openings until Tenet.
Yeah.
And so I think it behooves the independent theater owner to also think about maybe perhaps waiting a little bit until maybe more in June. I mean, if you can get open in July and you have the business or in May and you have the business, that's great. And I don't want to discourage anybody from doing that, because it is a real sacrifice to keep your business shuttered. By no means think that it's an easy decision. It's just really hard when you get there and you're like, okay, I'm going to reopen. And then you realize there's nothing new to play. That's tough.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many, films from 2002 or 2016 are going to fill the void for getting people to come out again.
Yeah, it's not really going to be enough to convince people, or the mass majority of people, to want to come out, because they're even though there's so many people like banging on doors, like trying to get things to reopen for whatever reason, there's still many more people that are skeptical of coming out of quarantine. So
hesitant, scared. There's just not enough testing information.
Even if everything opened, even if we had a Disney movie, a Mulan, or even an Avengers, let's go crazy. We have Avengers coming out next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It may not do any business. There may be nobody that's willing to go.
Yeah.
It may not. It's going to be a long process of getting people to trust being in large crowds, going out with their families. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a whole process.
In some areas where it didn't hit as hard may bounce back faster. And some other areas where it did hit really hard, you may see a really slow rollout. It just, there's so many factors that are going to go into this, but I don't foresee any quick and easy and successful solutions right off the bat.
Yeah, except for probing people as soon as they come into your theater, just checking temperatures.
Do the testing there.
Yeah.
As soon as you walk in,
test kit.
Dunk.
Yeah, I mean, if some theaters really feel the need that they have to do this in order to get themselves into any sort of business and survive, by all means, just try to regulate the health codes as much as you can, be safe as much as possible. But I don't know, if I was a theater, I still would be skeptical, and I probably would still try and wait it out a bit longer, at least like maybe 6 weeks out before Tenet instead of the 12.
Right. You're right. No, you're right. You got to take into consideration, is the product available to me at this point worth the cost of operating a screen? And it may be that you can open up and you limit your screen count. You don't open all the screens, or you just go to a reduced schedule. So you're just maybe open Friday and Saturday. You are playing repertory titles. You do not have to be open every day of the week. Mm-hmm. You don't even have to be open 3 days. You can be open just Friday and Saturdays and have one show. And maybe that slow opening is what gets you back in, gets people back into the habit of going, or at least just knowing that it's there.
But if you're not open, you're doing curbside concessions.
Yeah.
You're following our advice.
You're accumulating sanitization supplies. You're getting things ready to go for when you open to make people comfortable.
Exactly.
You're getting policies in place. You're hopefully taking time to train employees and train yourself on the process of what it looks like.
Hopefully at this point, if you have not started, you need to start cultivating your social media presence. It's a big topic. It's very scary, but you need to start letting people know a plan upon reopening. What date are you targeting? What are you looking at? What are some of the films you're going to have? What are some of the policies that you're going to do to ensure everybody's safety? They don't have to be garish. You just want to start accumulating enough people awareness of your theater reopening that when you do open those doors, you get somebody to come in.
If people know before they go into the doors that they're going to be as safe as possible, then people will be more willing to go.
Yeah,
I think.
And it gives them an event to look forward to. If you are going to open, say, middle of May, first part of June, and you're going to do a repertory series and you do your 80s throwback movies, at least start promoting those. Start getting, graphics in place and asking questions and polls and what 80s movies do you like, and I would just say just start getting the excitement built up a little bit for these things. I think moving forward, the promotion of the theaters and the movies are going to fall squarely on the shoulders of the theater owners and managers. Yeah. The studios are not out there actively promoting anything right now. And so it's really up to the theater owner manager to go out there and promote their venue like they've never had to before. They have to basically hit the reset button and be like, I'm here. Remember how much you liked going to the movie. Remember what these movies were like. Come back and you'll be safe. Yeah. With us.
And even if
in our warm embrace of a dark theater.
And even if you only can be able to open for maybe the weekends, that will honestly be perfect to make it even more of an event, because more more people go up to the movies on the weekends anyway, so why not bring in some normalcy and make an event at the same time by doing it that way?
I think you're going to see a resurgence in the old school movie going. You know, when movies were just Friday and Saturday nights at 7:00 or even later, and they weren't, 5 showtimes a day every day all the week, and I could go whenever I wanted. I had to wait. I had to go on certain days. I think that's good. I think that'll be good because really, to be honest, demand is down, so you shouldn't oversupply the situation with showtimes.
Don't expect every showtime to be available all day.
Right.
Yeah.
And maybe not expect every screen to be available anymore. This might be really throwback minimal. Now, you may have 1 or 2 bookings of films right now, and you may have more of your screens open. Say you're an 8-plex, and you might have 6 screens open with only 2 films because of social distancing restrictions. So you need to keep that in mind, as well as how many screens am I going to need to get to the point where operation costs are met. And I think that's you got to be really honest and careful with expenses right now and say, how much is this seat worth and how many seats do I need to make my costs?
Time to be efficient, time to be creative.
Time to be engaging. Gauge your audiences, gauge your customers.
Build a community.
Yeah.
Or
Reach
be a
out.
part of it.
Yeah, you got to around it.
Yeah, try and keep yourself updated too.
And even though your theater is not allowed to be open to the public, there's plenty of time to do rent-outs for private parties, group gatherings, to find things for families. If you can rent out your theater and costs are whatever you think, $200 to rent out the theater for a showing, book the movie, play the movie for a family.
Right.
Do something. You got to get creative now.
Yeah.
Now's the time to do it.
So as far as release schedule, we have some more updates to some of the changes.
Everything's moved back.
Everything's moved back to 2021.
Shocker.
Thank you, Kyle, for really highlighting the 2021.
I meant to do it as a joke at first, but after I kept adding titles to our rundown, I was like, well, this is probably a good thing. All these numbers are kind of blended in together now.
And the last 2 weeks, I keep thinking that it's just the same year. I was like, no, this is totally 2020.
Look at this, all this stuff's moving up.
Yeah. So the big news is Scoob from Warner Brothers is now going to be VOD on May 15th, which really is unfortunate. It was one thing when Trolls went VOD, video on demand, premium rental, but now Scoob is doing it too. And I think I'm not going to hate on Warner's as much as Universal, because Universal poorly timed theirs and they did it just to really backstab the theaters. But Warner Brothers, they did say that they have merchandise locked into stores and stuff right now, and they just can't move something like that back.
If you love theaters, do not rent Scoob on VOD.
No, do not pay the $20 to rent it on VOD.
This is conflicting for me because I love Scooby-Doo, so I'm hyped to get any kind of Scooby-Doo stuff whenever I can.
Do you want to pay $20 for Scooby-Doo?
But that's the thing, though. I love movie theaters so much that I'm like, do I want to spend the $20 just because I'm a Scooby-Doo fan? And I'm like teeter-tottering, so I really don't want to do it, but hopefully I don't
just so you
trick
know,
myself into
I
it.
have not rented Trolls.
I can honestly say I've not rented Trolls either. I feel pretty good about it.
I heard it wasn't as good as the first one. From somebody who did rent it. I won't call them a traitor, but...
Remember, kids.
Yeah.
Kids are the
it
traitors
was for the
here.
kids.
Now, Kyle and I were having a discussion about this beforehand.
Yeah.
The other big movie news that's not about things being pushed back or anything negative.
Right.
We got a title for Venom 2.
Yes, I was going to get to that down on the list.
No, move it there. I want to do it now.
So, Venom. Dun, dun, dun.
Venom.
I love that song.
Venom was awful.
Who wants to announce it? I think Ken should announce.
Do it, Ken.
Venom, let there be carnage.
That's such a good title.
That is such a good title.
It really is.
I'm not excited for Venom 2, but I like that title a lot.
We were discussing this. This is the year for guys who write copy for the sequel titles.
Yeah.
Bond, No Time to Die. like what's the next?
Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
And maybe not Trolls World Tour, but there's got to be one guy who's just hitting these out of the park. Like, what do you got next, Joe?
Right. In the PG-13 and up genres, they're nailing it.
For sure. No, I don't know. If Venom became such a weird movie, I don't even know how to explain it. I mean, you saw it, Cody. Like, you know how weird that movie ended up being. So
It was bizarre. It was just so bad it was good.
It did a monster number.
Right.
Everybody that played it did crazy
surprisingly
on
well.
it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was an $80 million opening.
Yeah.
For September, early October.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
It is a big number.
Why they're making a sequel, that's
Well,
for sure.
so Venom, Let There Be Carnage, moved from October of 2020 to June of 2021. So it'll be next summer.
I think that could probably do business. I can't think off the top of my head of if there's anything playing close to that as of now, but I don't know. It could be a summer movie, I guess.
Yeah.
I thought October was still a pretty good spot for it, though.
No, that's when COVID-20 will come out, and it'll get delayed another 3.5 years.
Right. Okay, good
So
point.
let's not...
Let's not talk about that. So, what other changes do we have real quick, just to run down? In the Heights moved to June 18th of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
King Richard, is that the...
Venus and Serena Williams movie with
yeah.
Will Smith.
As the dad?
Moved back to Thanksgiving 2021.
Okay.
Yeah.
That one I'm a little disappointed on. I thought they would leave it there to it's a family movie.
Right.
I thought maybe they would
Probably
leave it there
also
to see what happened.
I just think Thanksgiving this year got really swallowed. I mean,
Yeah.
Bond moved to it. I think a couple others moved on.
Yeah, it definitely did over the past few weeks that they kind of got squished into that one
Right.
spot. I don't know. It also, this production might have shut down, so they probably
Who knows? Yeah.
they probably still want that same slate or spot
Yeah.
on the calendar, so they just moved it back a year.
Let's see. The Many Saints of Newark moved to March of 2021 from September.
Yeah, that's the Sopranos prequel movie.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. Military Wives just got taken off the schedule.
Yeah,
I think they're going VOD with that. I thought I
Probably.
saw.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Don't quote me on that, but I have a feeling that's what it is. And then Venom, Let There Be Carnage from October to June. Without Remorse moved from September of 2020 to October of 2020. So September 18th to October 2nd. So that's good. That's just moved back a little bit.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Jackass movie.
Apparently, there's a new Jackass movie. Who knew?
Moved from March of 2021.
Jackass Forever.
Is that what
Oh,
it is?
That's totally what the title would be. Jim, the copywriter.
I'm trying out my sequel copywriting technique. By the way,
Jackass
it's
4. It is the fourth one.
It's Ken, Ken, if you need any copywriting advice.
Really forever, and you're gonna be like, put Ken's name on that.
Jackass.
Just watch
For
that.
life.
That's totally
Yeah.
what it's gonna be.
You can do so much better
If
than
this
that.
was the early 2000s, it would have the number 4, and then it would just be ever.
Well, that was the huge mistake with Bad Boys.
What?
Bad Boys needed to be just Bad Boys 3.
Yeah.
So they could make Bad Boys for life.
Oh, yeah.
But they made Bad Boys 3, Bad Boys for life. What a waste.
What a waste.
Yeah, but the fourth one will just be called For Life Part 2.
For like part 2.
For life, the sequel.
Then Mission Impossible 7 moved from July of 2021 to November of 2021. So we're gonna get a Mission Impossible in November, Thanksgiving.
Well, wait until where Mission Impossible 8 landed.
8 went from August of 2022 to November of 2020. Okay, so we're gonna get 2 years of Mission Impossible.
Yeah,
Back to back.
all nearby Thanksgiving. I do
Yeah.
wonder if they'll move that back once things calm down. I do wonder if they'll want the summer release over Thanksgiving.
Well, I think the last Mission Impossible came out end of August.
Something like that, July or August.
Yeah, it came out towards the end of summer, and it was really good.
Yeah.
It did okay, though. It wasn't a $200-300 million opening, but did fine. But at what point in the sequel, 7, 8, 9, does it become mission probable, mission likely, mission to make Tom Cruise more money?
Jim,
Like,
the copywriter, knows what he's doing.
Mission keep him alive.
Mission to keep him alive.
Mission resuscitate.
mission HGH and TRT injections.
He's at a European spa, Ken.
Yeah.
All right, then the Tomorrow War went to from not having a schedule to being July of 2021. What's the Tomorrow War?
I think that's the Mark. No, I thought it was the Mark Wahlberg action movie from Paramount, but now I think I have that mixed up with something else.
Oh, a Dungeons and Dragons movie? Didn't they already do one of these?
Like in the 2000s?
Yeah.
Hey, IP always comes back.
Dungeons and Dragons from November of 2021 to May of 2022.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think people, when it comes to like 2022 releases, it's not that big of a deal to know about, but it's all because of COVID-19, so later we let you know.
Like the fun Star Wars sequel releases that are 2026 on the calendar.
You may or may not have a Star Wars movie in 2026.
I am shocked I have not seen any Avatar movies get moved yet, because they always move their release dates.
They move if the weather's bad. Like if it rains in LA, then you get an announcement, Avatar 7 has been relocated.
No.
So that's why I'm so surprised they haven't moved them at all.
So special effects heavy that
the budgets are so high. He may be filming them in outer space currently. You don't know.
That's true.
He could be safe. Yeah, the production could be safe from all this.
It's the only safe place on
in
Earth.
Space. You never know. I don't know what he's
Cameron's
doing.
The budget was
Avatar
actually,
set.
Yeah, the budget was so high it was actually cheaper to film it in outer space than to
Right.
actually
They found
do,
it. They
do
found
the
this
sets
planet.
Here. It makes
now
way
that they
more
got
sense.
that Disney money.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I talked a little bit about those repertory combos that are coming out. So those are kind of the new changes related to COVID-19 that have affected the release schedule and what is available to book right now.
Yeah.
And I think that we're going to get something together on silverscreeninsider.com so you can go and check and see what some of those packages might look like.
Yeah,
So we should
for
have
sure.
those up probably next week when we have more information. We're waiting on a few studios still to kind of figure out what they want to do for those.
You're
So
all-in-one resource, everything in one place.
Yeah.
That is
what?
$25 a month.
Oh.
And the website is?
Apparently I'm not very good at this.
SilverScreenInsider.com.
Thanks, Kyle.
Why are you looking at me? Kyle's.
I know. I was
Kyle's
confused
your
by
buddy
that.
on
I was
this.
like, you always go to me when it comes to...
We are not there yet. Here he is. My punishment is getting like red queued up right now. It's not fair.
Your punishment for not seeing Vertigo yet,
know.
like you were supposed to last week.
I know I was going to watch it. And then last night I was like, I should watch it. But I was actually really tired last night. And so I was like, I got the bright idea that I would come in the office early today and watch it while I worked.
Oh.
And then I forgot.
Well, if it makes you feel better, I was meaning to watch it all this week and just kept forgetting about it.
But one of our listeners said that I should watch Mystic Pizza, and I agreed. So now I want to swap out Vertigo for Mystic Pizza.
Ken was just saying, like, someone commented saying that they want to have her watch Mystic Pizza, and he was just not happy about it.
Oh, I'm so excited. I think the only thing I know about Mystic Pizza is that Julia Roberts is in it?
Oh, I don't remember.
I don't know.
I mean,
this is going to be so
it'll be a good
surprise to
surprise
me.
for you, I suppose.
Yeah.
But that is not on the AFI list.
Or
Thanks for the
maybe-
recommendations, but not on the AFI list.
Let's be honest. I'm not going to like anything on that list.
No, but you still have to be cultured anyway.
Trying. So I got to be punished with 5 more minutes of Goodfellas.
But that's gonna come.
That's gonna come
that'll
later.
come later, though. What? Do we have anything else to talk about?
Yeah. So you had this great post about Lego agreeing to a new deal with Universal.
Thanks. I did have a post about
You
that.
did. So I was really surprised because I was like, it wasn't Lego Movies distributed by Warner Brothers, and I guess you said that their deal came to an end. They shopped it around, and Universal got it. I have mixed feelings right now. Universal and I are on a break.
They're not speaking to each other.
Yeah. I'm really unhappy with them. I also am unhappy because they took over Thomas the Tank Engine and they changed his voice, and I cannot watch any new Thomases anymore with my kids.
If Universal changes the voice of Emmett from the Lego movie from Chris Pratt to someone else, that'll be blasphemy.
I know.
There'll be riots in the streets.
Better not
But
touch
Universal
it.
loves Chris Pratt.
I'm sure
Jurassic
they're
World, so I
I'm
don't
sure
think
they're
that's gonna
not
happen.
gonna do anything with like Lego Movie. They'll probably just expand it to try to do other genre Lego Movie types.
Yeah, they say that they want to have new stories to kind of like be more creative and to give a resurgence to the property, and they also probably want some of Universal's IP to be a part of it, like Jurassic World, Candyman,
They have
maybe.
that.
I don't
it's
know.
called Indominus Rex.
Apparently, they already have stuff like that, shows and whatnot.
They
Like
do.
now they have film
Candyman.
rights. But yeah, that deal got all done. I think Warner Bros. Kind of was thinking too much about this, seeing like the Lego movies kind of decline in
Right.
sales. But I think it's still a good IP to try and bring some life and bring some properties over to theaters.
Well, they should have done more with the DC stuff, like Lego Batman. They should have done more with their properties there.
It's
Yeah,
just it
maybe.
was just a steady decline. Every time they released a Lego movie, it just incrementally decreased, and it's sad because they were their quality. Warner Brothers always does a great job.
And Warner does do a great job marketing it.
Yeah,
So
Warner Bros. Was the studio that gave that movie a shot. No one thought that movie was going to do well, and then it was such a
Right.
big surprise. So, yeah, it's kind of weird and sad seeing those two part, but I don't know. I think Universal made the smart move, even if we're not happy with them.
we shall see. Then, what else do we got to talk about?
Cody's looking
I
for
don't think we
anything
have any
else.
other news stories, Cody.
Oh,
It's time.
no, I don't want to.
Cody, those are the rules of Cody's Classic
Did you start
Corner.
it over from the beginning?
No, I did not.
We're going to make
this-
her watch all 2.5 hours.
Are you sure?
I'm 100%. I've never been more positive about anything in my
Is
life.
this left
I
or
trust
right?
Ken.
Right here.
She's stalling. She's stalling people.
She doesn't. All of a sudden, she doesn't know her left from her right.
For the
But we're driving the car. Get in the right lane. Okay, tell us what's going on.
No, you did start it
No,
over.
I didn't. I promise I didn't.
It's an eyeball. He's looking at something.
Yeah, that's definitely not the beginning.
It's an eyeball.
Oh yeah,
Did I put it on Monsters Inc. by accident?
much better.
And this is still for Goodfellas, correct?
This is the second 5 minutes of Goodfellas.
Oh my gosh.
What is she doing?
He's narrating about how awesome it is about being a gangster. I've always wanted to be a gangster. Blah blah blah.
And everything he says is spot on.
Damn, it feels good to be a gangster. No, something different.
I don't think
How
that's quite
cool
from
the gangsters
Goodfellas.
were. They could be parked in front of a hydrant. No one gave them a ticket. Lame. Shoot. Is this going to be a shoot 'em up scene now?
We're not there yet. You have to get through the mailman scene in Goodfellas. If you'd like to join along with Cody's misery, or you'd like to watch, I don't know, a critically acclaimed film that was in AFI's top 5 of all time.
I'd highly recommend to. But every time she
So,
keeps watching a new scene, I want to keep
looks like
watching
a-
this movie.
A fat guy with his cigar and they're fake beating him up, but it's getting a little.
You seen a mailman yet?
It's getting a
Nope.
little too real.
Yeah. And then there's another fat guy with his shirt with smoking a cigar. This one's got a dark blue shirt. He didn't have to move for anybody.
I know this is enthralling for everybody listening.
So enthralling.
Well,
This is quality content.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yep.
this
Cody's
is what
classic-
Oh,
Corner's
now
becoming
it
a
goes
hit.
back into the house.
I don't know why she's describing this scene.
I don't know.
keep-
There's a lot of
he
narration.
gets back into the
There's
house.
so many kids in the house. One
That's-
kid's in a wheelchair. That's really sad.
That's a gangster's
Irish is
family.
the father is Irish. That's all I hear.
That's all I hear.
As she's commentating, it just keeps making me think about the Irishman scene where an old Robert De Niro is shuffling to like kick the guy on the curb. I don't know why I keep
Well,
flashing back to
this
it.
5 minutes hasn't been too bad. Where do I have to stop it? How long have I been doing
After
it?
the mailman scene is over.
I have to watch a whole mailman scene.
Yeah, a whole mailman scene.
That's a term in the movie business, apparently. A whole mailman scene.
Oh, they let him park his Cadillac.
The mailman's Cadillac?
They'd pull up, throw me the keys, and let me park their Cadillacs.
We can't quote too many of their lines. We might get flagged.
Nope. Flag away. I'm not afraid.
Now Cody looks disturbed.
Something cap stand. That's what his job at the cap stand.
Cab
Oh my God.
stand.
There is so much talking.
Welcome to a
Scorsese.
gangster movie from Scorsese.
Ugh.
Next
Haven't
week,
he ever heard about showing and not telling?
All you have to do is watch Vertigo.
Gosh.
And you didn't do
And
it.
this will all be over.
Showing, not telling.
But at the same time, I haven't watched Vertigo either.
Now the dad is always mad.
As he probably always is.
Oh, he had 7 people living in a little house. Kid brother was in a wheelchair. Just life sucks.
But it's fun being a gangster, right?
Gangsters.
Yeah.
Don't get parking tickets.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's pretty nice.
and then dad's beating him with a belt. This is awesome. Dad's beating mom. This is so... What wonderful cinema.
We're laughing at her misfortune, not at the scene.
Her reaction is hilarious. It looks like somebody beat her with a belt.
Oh my god. No.
Oh, gosh.
I don't even know what he's getting beaten for. Now he's got a black guy.
Wonderful. Wonderful costuming. They gave you a black eye just to...
Is this the child abuse you were trying to warn me about? It's
Yeah.
terrible.
No, there's more child abuse. Don't worry. I'm just kidding. This was the yes.
What?
Yes.
Once again, SSI
Why are
does
they
not
putting the
condone any of
mailman
this.
in the... I missed this part. This is the mailman scene.
Yes.
That's where we're
Now
leading
they're
you
trying
up
to... They're choking him out with his tie.
Everything's a weapon. The expressions just get more and more sad.
And then they're putting his head in a pizza oven. It's gonna burn him. It's gonna burn his face.
Oh, poor mailman. Poor
Okay.
guy.
All right,
That's
she's
enough.
done.
There we go.
I did my time.
Bravo.
Ugh, terrible.
So do you want to watch more Goodfellas or do you want to watch Vertigo like you were supposed to?
Fuck no, more Goodfellas. This is terrible.
Am I gonna have to bleep that out of here now? Go into the editing bay.
God,
She's learned new words from this movie.
it's making me a person I don't want to be. Ugh. Gross. Oh, that's so much talking, narration.
Was that the worst
I
part?
hate it's annoying
Forget being beaten
wannabe
with a
gangster
belt.
voice.
No, I could watch someone get beaten with a belt as long as they don't talk about it the entire time.
Show, don't tell.
Yeah,
Technically, they are showing you.
I could have been told about that scene and not shown.
That's the exception that we'll make to the rule.
Is that the whole movie like that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's-
2.5 hours.
Yeah.
How is that like good? I just don't
You'd
get
be
it.
surprised. It's excellent.
Great.
No,
How is that great?
how's it?
How is that AFI's
Why would you
best
even want to
movies?
watch something like that? Like, why would you want to put that in your brain? I feel tortured.
Get yourself cultured. Everyone, please go watch Vertigo, as I should as well.
I would have felt so much better if the kid would have turned around and just shot his dad.
What if that happens in the movie?
And then I would
You
have been
don't
like,
know.
oh, that feels good.
Maybe that's what Scorsese
That bully
thought.
got it.
Yeah, we'll see next week when you don't watch Vertigo again. You can keep delving deeper.
We'll have-
We're going to get through this movie in like 4 weeks.
And you still won't watch Vertigo. Remember when Singing in the Rain wasn't so bad?
Remember when it was so terrible? So
I
boring?
watched it. It was boring. I had to fast forward through all the dancing and singing.
That hurts.
It's just too much.
The whole point of the movie
It's
is
too
they love
much.
to dance.
Just too much. But I'd gladly take Singing in the Rain over that garbage.
Well, at least you did watch it though. Now on to
Trash
Vertigo.
fire that I want to put gangster bodies into.
Oh, well, that was our fun for the week.
Yeah, thank you for that.
That was horrible.
And thank you for the few
I'm so
listeners that
depressed
turned this
now.
off once they realized what was happening.
God.
Quality content.
Sorry. It was just the thing was talking in my ear. It was so much narration. I had to like explain what was going on. But it
We're
was just
chuckling like idiots.
fat guys with cigars and bowling shirts with their tops all unbuttoned and their chest hair hanging out.
You gotta
With
admit,
a gold chain.
when it comes to Irish gangsters, like Scorsese just nails it. Like he gets it. That's
yeah.
his thing.
Mobsters in the 50s. Ooh, doesn't get any better than that.
Do we have anything
right.
else on our podcast then?
God, I hope it's over.
All right, Cody's classic Classics Corner? Is that what we decided?
I
Classics
will
Corner.
gladly watch Mystic Pizza now.
Mystic Pizza, which was recommended by Nikki Schwartz.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening, Nikki. We're going to hopefully try that and Vertigo next week.
That puts better images in my brain to push out the Goodfellas.
After they...
Can I just say that I saw Goodfellas now?
No.
That's pretty much the movie, right?
Pretty much the movie.
It's killing people in the back of the car and beating up kids.
You know, they talk bada bing, bada boom.
Yeah, a lot of talking, a lot of hairy, fat men.
You want to watch Mystic Pizza after seeing a mailman get stuck in a pizza oven?
I mean, that part wasn't as bad as the kid getting hit with a belt. I'm not like that. I'm all about discipline and all, but that was just abuse. Crossed the line.
Abuse, yes.
From coronavirus to child abuse. You get your downer here.
Yeah. We're supposed to be positive.
We cover it all, guys.
I risked my life coming in from quarantine for this just to be tortured. Gosh.
Just watch Vertigo.
Thanks, Kyle.
Hey, I'm trying to help you out here.
You only have to do one thing. Then this all goes away. Until next time.
And then the process starts all over again.
It's like slow torture with a medium torture film or intense torture with a horrible film. I just want to watch the movies I want to watch.
It's like an abusive relationship Cutler and I've started with Cody. Like, do it or you'll get something worse.
No.
Again, we do not condone that here at SSI.
But your actions speak differently.
Yeah.
Who knows that when Eric left and Ken joined the group, it would get so negative. Be so evil.
Deep and dark, like my voice.
Kyle, I thought you were a nice guy.
I just go where the show takes us.
This is the lazy river of movie podcasts.
Just
go where the river takes us. We're going into the dark lagoon today, folks.
I'll get you back somehow, remember? Just put it on my list. Every 5 minutes goes on the list. And one of these days, I'll cash in that list, Ken.
Well, I will
Keep
still
that in
have
mind.
fun anyway.
Just got real dark, folks.
Yeah. Hey,
Just got.
I might slip you something in your birthday cupcake next go around.
Oh, right. It was my birthday.
Yeah.
I thought you
And
were
we
talking to
didn't-
him at first, but then
No.
you looked at me. I was like, wait, what's going on here?
And we didn't get to have birthday cupcakes this year. And we'll have poison cakes
actually,
next year.
You guys are always gone to CinemaCon anyway, so it never gets celebrated, but that's
we always
fine.
make sure you have a cupcake.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. You come in clutch with a cupcake.
Yeah. Might be a surprise in it next year.
Well, not coming into the office that day.
You'll forget.
Probably.
You'll be like, oh, I'm getting a cupcake today.
And on the,
Can anything get better than this?
Yeah.
And on the premeditated murder note, thank you for listening to the Off the Break
It's not
podcast.
murder. It's a murder. It's equivalent torture. Let's see. I have 10 minutes into.
I love that the boss is threatening the coworker on a podcast.
I'm clarifying, not murder. Torture.
Okay, it's totally better. It'll be
Yeah.
fine, guys. It'll be fine.
He'll live through
It's
it.
just a temporary poisoning situation.
Yeah. It might. It will be uncomfortable, but you will live through it.
It's already uncomfortable. Please end the podcast.
All
So
right.
$25 a month, SSI.com, correct?
But for free, you get to hear about my torture plans. All right, podcast time. And let's wrap it up. Kyle.
Yeah, thank you for indulging us on this episode. You can check out more episodes on other podcast platforms, as well as you can download the episodes from silverscreeninsider.com. And we also have many other resources for theater owners and managers who are trying to prep up and be ready to go from whenever their theater can open. And hopefully that's soon and everything's safe. And we'll just have to go from there. But for now, we are still available if you guys need us.
Yep.
For a more succinct podcast, tune into last week's episode or next week's episode. Have a great weekend, everybody.
Bye.